Hi, my name is Eric Schaefer, and today I'm going to show you a contract approval K2 process. The scenario is that a sales manager for a services company is on site with a customer and discovers a need for some additional services. The salesman opens up a K2 Smart Form on his mobile phone, which allows him to look up the customer in CRM, specify the expected start and end dates, and identify the potential consultant to do the work through an Active Directory lookup. Once the form is submitted, a K2 process is kicked off. The process creates a contract document in SharePoint from a template, looks up the consultant's current billable rate from an Excel spreadsheet in SharePoint, calculates the total amount of the services, and updates the contract with all this information. A task is then assigned to the originator so that when they are back in front of their PC, they can draft up the rest of the contract details and submit the contract for review. Once submitted for review, the manager can approve the contract through an Outlook, and depending upon the total amount of the contract, the process may go for a second level of approval. Once approved, the contract is updated, a calendar entry is made in SharePoint for the services team, a pre-engagement meeting is scheduled in Exchange for the week before the services are scheduled to start, a sub-process is started that creates a new site in SharePoint for all the project documents. The process uploads the contract to that site, converts the contract to a PDF, and optionally the contract can also be uploaded to an Office 365 SharePoint site. So let's go ahead and see this in action. We're going to start off here in a K2 Smart Form inside of the Windows Phone 7 browser. We're just going to go ahead and type in Amazing here to find our Amazing Sports Store, which is the customer we're currently dealing with. We go ahead and look that up. That's been looked up from Active Directory. Now we can go ahead and select the type of project that we're going to do. It's going to be a SharePoint consulting project, so let's just type SharePoint in here. And we need to go ahead and identify a resource as well. This lookup will look to Active Directory, so let's add Bob here. Click the link, and that'll go ahead and resolve Bob. Put in the estimated number of hours that we expect this contract to take, the expected start and completion date. So let's put that as let's say Monday the 2nd, and we want to wrap that up by say the 4th. So once we go ahead and fill all that out, we can click Submit, and that clicking Submit will kick off the K2 process and give us an indication in the form that that process has been started. So switching back to SharePoint now, what we can go ahead and do is refresh our main portal page here, which shows us our list of tasks as well as a web part to show us any processes that we're currently working on. So we can go ahead and click the View Flow link there on that new process that we just kicked off to go in and kind of see what's going on here. So what we can see is that the process has gone into the first step and is creating the contract. And that's a document inside of SharePoint. It's going to go ahead and then go and get a rate out of Excel for Bob. So let's go take a look at that spreadsheet there where it's retrieving that information. So just go to our shared documents folder here where we happen to have an Excel services file that will surface to us the current rate information for our consultant. So if we pass Bob into that consultant, it'll give us the current rate. That goes back to the process and then calculates the totals and updates the contract. If we refresh our work list, we can go ahead and see that there is a contract task assigned to us to go ahead and continue to update that contract with the necessary details in order to submit it for review. We click the link, that's going to open up the K2 Smart Form. We can see that there is a contract link there and some details about the customer from CRM. And it allows us to make some changes if we need to, but also gives us some validation on those controls as well. If we click the link about existing contracts, we can actually open up a list in a subform here of existing contracts with this customer, who's on them, the total amounts, the averages, things like that as well, which is a nice way to kind of see what's going on with that particular customer. So let's go ahead and open up the contract document. And this is just going to open up the Word document from the SharePoint contract library, and we can see that the information that we captured inside of the initial form has been updated inside of this Word document. The resources there, the number of hours, the rate from the Excel services document, and the total amount there. So once we've drafted up the rest of that contract, we can go ahead and take action on our task to submit it for review. And there, that's been submitted. If we go back to the K2 View Flow, we can see that that's been assigned to our manager. So just click into that, and we can see that the manager for us is, in this case, Jonathan. So let's go ahead and we've got Jonna's email open up here. We can see that a task has come through from K2 for for Jono. So we're logged in to this session as Jono, and we can see that there's been a task assigned which links directly to the contract. But we can also just simply say, well, let's just go ahead and approve this. So type approve, reply to that email, and what that's going to do is actually go ahead and tell K2 to continue on with that process so that he didn't actually have to go and open up a task and select approve and move it on. We can also see in the view flow, while we're waiting for that to capture, is some reporting information about how long it's taking to go through each step of this process. We'll look at some more reporting as we go through as well. So here we can see that we're starting to get some notifications come through. So Exchange has picked up, or K2 has picked up the approval from Exchange. It's going and adding items to a calendar. So we'll actually see that the start date, services start date, and end date will have been added to the services calendar for tracking purposes. And if we jump into jump back to the view flow, we can see that a meeting has been scheduled in Exchange. So we've gotten a meeting invite. So we see the approve email. We can see that that's been approved. And we can see that a meeting invite has been scheduled. A pre-engagement meeting has been scheduled for the week before so that everybody can get on the same page before we go on site with the customer. Additionally, a sub-process has kicked off, and that sub-process is actually going and creating a site inside of SharePoint, uploading the contract to that SharePoint site, converting it to PDF, and then also going and uploading that contract into Office 365. Once that's all completed, we get this email that will link us to that contract site. So here we can see the new site that was created, the contract was uploaded, and we can actually go ahead and open up the PDF and see that that's been converted using Word conversion services. And there's that same contract that we were looking at, but now in PDF form. If we go back to the email, we can click on the other link, which takes us to an Office 365 contract library. So this has been uploading into the cloud here. We can see that new contract has also been uploaded there with all the associated metadata as well. Some additional type of reporting information that's also been created is a Visio services diagram that's looking up K2 reporting information, as well as some Excel services information, just to give you an idea of what's going on with this particular contracts. There's also some out-of-the-box K2 reports and a little SmartForm interface as well that gives us some contract management capability. So we can go back in, find that contract that we just were working on, load up some details, and potentially make changes to some of that data inside of the process there, or inside of the contract. And that wraps up the demo. For more information, visit us at www.k2.com.